As you gotten older, has it ever crossed your mind on how neglected and abandoned you felt? And as you were going through your childhood, your adolescent years, you felt like the black sheep of the family. You felt like you were misunderstood, misinterpreted, or underestimated. And then you start to wonder why, as you got older, you started to enjoy your solitude, and people will question you why you're so alone, and you always consider yourself a lone wolf or a loner. It's not because that you don't know how to socialize or that you don't want to. It's because there's a particular reason why you're so okay with the solitude of your own sanctuary rather than allowing anyone and anything access to your energy. And it's because there's a higher reason for your existence. And they always say the harder the trials of a person's life is the bigger their mission. What is Gooch beautiful beings? Welcome back, Awakened Ones, on another episode on Embrace the Essential Series with your homegirl, Brittany Fontanez. If you're new to this channel, so glad to have you here and be a part of this tribe. If you've been on this journey with me so far, gang, only love, you know who you is, boo. On this channel, I am an energetic activator, here to assist you to awaken things you have yet to see with your emotional awareness to go upon your spiritual evolution. Now, if you want to know anything more about me and the services I render and the merch I sell, you go to the link in the description box below, and there you'll be redirected to all my services, my healing course, and my merch. But other than that, beautiful beings, before we get into this video, please hit that like button, subscribe to this channel, and don't forget to hit that notification button. I truly appreciate you guys for being on this journey with me and help me accelerate all the golden nuggets that I want to share with you. And I don't call them wisdom, I just call them golden nuggets, because who doesn't like gold and who doesn't like nuggets? All right, other than that, you guys, I really want to get into this topic that's been bombarding my mind, and that is the reason why you're a loner. And I want to start off with explaining that a lot of us might think this is a bad thing, or we were told this is a bad thing, being a loner. Like, you have to be extroverted. I'll be blunt with you. I'm an introvert and an extrovert. I have no social awkwardness, no antisocial energy towards me. I don't get social anxiety. But between me and you always wondered why you are such a loner, why you don't have successful relationships, or why you don't have a lot of friends, why you don't like being around family members. There's a particular reason to that. But before we get into those reasons, you may think that when everyone tries to push you to go out, I wouldn't say your comfort zone, to go out the safety net that you have built around yourself, of self-love, of really taking your spiritual journey seriously, or I would say serial, because you don't want to take it too serious, because then you defeat the purpose of actually living life and not fearing it. But you have the ability to do things on your own that people question, as in, how can you do that alone? How can you travel alone? How can you take yourself on dates? How can you do things alone? It feels weird not to go in a crowd, not to have a lot of friends, not to do things with other people. Like, other people may think what you do is weird and abnormal. But here's the thing. Just because throughout the majority of your life, throughout your childhood, throughout your adolescent years, the reason why you felt like everyone was just pushing you away is because they didn't understand that you are the curse breaker to your family. You are the one that exposes shadows. You have a light that shines so bright that darkness can't stand it. And a lot of us understand there's an immense amount of darkness within this world. And people absorb that and become it. Hence why people become of this world and be so rooted in the physical and forgetting that they are an originally spiritual being in the first place. And because you're aware of this and you see the cycles, you see the patterns, you see the trauma bonds, you see what is in the spirit beyond the physical eye and what's within, that is intense to people who are surface level. Now, me and you may know how to be social, may know how to get along with everyone. Me, I'm a very likable person, but I don't give a fuck about being liked. And you may feel the same way. You don't care if people make you the villain. You don't care if people don't understand you. It may take you a long time to get to that place, because maybe you felt worthless. Maybe you felt unlovable. Maybe you felt like there was something wrong with you. That's the beginning stages of awakening to why it is you choose your loneliness. I wouldn't say loneliness. You choose your solitude over the company of people who refuse to grow. And that is because, for the most part, if you ever heard of the 144,000, that is the 144,000 disciples that were lost in biblical times, that were here to come onto this planet at this very moment in time to assist people to awaken, to see that fear is not something that should exist within ourselves. Not saying it's not a human thing we feel and we should ignore it and we should think that we're not fearful, meaning that you understand the purpose of why this earth was created. You understand the purpose of your existence. You understand why you carve out your own path rather than following the herd. Is because you know you have a bigger calling and a bigger mission. Hence why you had to go through those trials, those tribulations, those obstacles, those adversities, those heartbreaks, because you had the power to learn that these things are not here to dismantle your spirit. They're here to show you that adversity and the obstacle is the way, and you have the power to overcome things people feel like they think they can't overcome or have control over. And you are obviously aware that there is a creator that loves you and created you and gave you this sovereign power to not be better than other people, but to see beyond what people refuse to see or blinded by. And I'm sharing this because I want to let you know there's nothing wrong with the way you move. There's nothing wrong with the things that you do. There's nothing wrong with the way that you live. But there's everything wrong with thinking that there's something wrong with you, because there isn't. You were created, so that means your existence is worthy of being here. But that also means your existence is worthy already of all the things that you want and all the love that there is. But it's very important for you to grasp the concept that being alone holds a power a lot of people can't handle. And you notice that people jump from relationship to relationship. They have particular friend groups where they use particular people for particular experiences or adventures or fun or things that they're interested in. Or you're around particular family members because you have this innate belief that it's family, I gotta love them, I gotta tolerate them. But because you know that your soul is calling you to release what doesn't serve you, you know that you're not here to tolerate people's poor behavior, and they use it as an excuse to say, well, this is who I am. You know you're not here to tolerate people stepping on your boundaries. You know you're not here to tolerate the bullshit that your intuition is calling out to you for you to see. You know this, but a lot of people refuse to know this. You know things that people don't want to see or ignore, that's in front of all of our faces, because you know that there's something bigger happening. You know there's something more than what we are told. You know there's something more to you than what people have projected upon you. And because of this, you are a loner for a good reason. You know how energy works. You know how vibration works. You know how important it is not to give access to everyone to your energy, because you know how transmutation works, and you know how transferring energy works. You're probably celibate. I know I am. And boy, it's the best decision I ever made in my life, because in this realization, the energy transfers that happen when you're intimate with someone, because this culture has normalized and desensitized us to believe that it's okay to have consistent amount of hookups, to be okay with just hanging out with everyone, to be okay with just allowing family members to treat you like shit. Because we have normalized this, people don't understand the energy transfers that are taking place when these interactions are happening. You're absorbing so much dense energy, and the energies that are within that person and that person's bloodline, and the curses and the insecurities and the things that are not even of you. And this is why majority of us feel drained. Majority of us feel depressed, apathetic, confused, lack clarity, because it's not your own energy. And because you're aware of this, you choose to be alone, because you know it cleanses you, it purges you. No one is disrupting the peace that you have created for you. And because of this, being alone feels so much more comfortable than being around the wrong people. But I want to clarify something to you. When you are a loner, I've been on this spiritual journey for the majority of my life. I just woken up to it in the past 6 years and really taken it more seriously. I've always known this about myself, but I've always recognized how the more I did internal healing to recognize these projections that people have put upon me to make me believe in them, to make me force myself to believe that I'm worthless, the more I've healed those layers, the more I realize there is an interconnected link to a higher power that is our creator. And those links are linking us to each other. So think of it as like a big brain with links connecting to our heads and transferring energy within us. You're aware of this, but people are so in delusion that they're not aware of this, but they're so rooted in the chaos around them. And you know that's not of you. You know that's not true to your making, to your being. It doesn't feel comfortable for you. That's why you're so good at being comfortable in the uncomfortable, and people are comfortable in their comfort, because you know how to change, you know how to grow, you know how to raise your consciousness, your emotional intelligence, and your maturity. And this is why you don't resonate with a lot of people, and this is why people don't resonate with you. This is why people try to control you, because they think they can fucking humble energy. Don't ever let anyone make you believe that how you're living your life that makes you feel at peace make you think that it's so unworthy and so abnormal, when it's not. Because I truly believe being weird is the normal. I truly believe being weird is fucking awesome, because there's layers to you that have yet to be unraveled, and the more people unravel that, the deeper you go and the more mysterious, mystical, and illuminating that you are. It's very intriguing. The darkness likes it, But the more intense and the more authentic you stay to you, the more the darkness runs away. And this is why people run away. This is why things haven't worked out for you in friendships, relationships, or particular connections with family members, because you know what true peace is. You know what real unconditional love is. And when you're alone with yourself is giving that to you. Now, of course, let's be real. It's not like we never feel loneliness. It's not like we ever feel like, Earth is not my home. I feel like my home is up there, out there, beyond this earth. We all feel that. I know we all do. I do all the time. But we also got to be aware is don't fall into the trap of fearing the world or sabotaging good things or sabotaging good people who do have pure intentions. Because when you are a loner and you choose to be in your own solitude, you have to take the initiative to build your discernment so you know how to give to the right people and you know how to receive the things that are meant for you. That's very important, because a lot of us get lost in thinking, oh, the world is in 3D, they're asleep, they're unawakened, they're negative and toxic. That's you still in your spiritual ego. But when you evolve from that and realize with your discernment that people are still living in their trauma, and you have compassion for them, and you have forgiveness for the people that have hurt you, and you have gratitude and grace for your past and for the things that you have been through, you have a greater responsibility to be the example of what authenticity is. And when you're authentic, when there's no gimmicks, when there's no trying, when there's no manipulating, people can't fucking figure you out. And at times that may feel like you're more alone, but that's something you should honor. Because the more you honor it with a true heart of belief that you are a chosen one, that you have a higher calling, just know God will make sure the right people will come into your life. God will make sure that you are always on the right track. God will always signal to your intuition to get away from certain people, to get away from certain things, to leave this job, to do something different, to inspire you into creating something. You are always divinely protected and guided. Once you learn how to fully honor it and believe that. So I'm sharing this all with you guys today, is embrace being a loner. Because the power that has, it can never be duplicated, but also is so inspiring. Because that means you're the person who's capable of doing things your bloodline never done. You're capable of inspiring people. You're capable of triggering people to wake up to their bullshit and finally change their ways. Or sometimes be the agent of karma, meaning that you come into their life as their karma. And I know that's not, I don't want you to embrace that agent of karma thing. I don't want you to embrace that, because when we live in that mindset, we always think that we're in a job and we can't receive good things. That's not true. But when you are aware of the power of that, it's good to understand how to stop entertaining energy like that keep you in this consistent loop of karmic contracts. So, remind yourself, as we're about to end this video, there's nothing wrong with you. You're not unlovable. You're very likable, actually. It's just, you know who you are. And when someone knows who they are, people don't know how to approach that. People don't know how to speak to that. People don't know how to give to that, because they're so absorbed with the perspective of their trauma, meaning that they only act out of their trauma. They only act out of their limiting beliefs. They only act out of the insecurities that they see about themselves. So it has nothing to do with you. So don't let your past, what has happened to you, or the reason why you're alone, dismantle who you are. because it just means you have a higher calling. Like, I'm not saying there are people on this earth that are Jesus. No, there's only one, and there will forever be one. But even in the Bible it says Jesus wants us to be somewhat like him or better. If you notice the story of Jesus, he walked alone. Everything he did, he knew he had a mission. He knew he had a purpose. He knew he had a calling. He taught people what unconditional love is. He taught people the meaning of the heart chakra. He taught people that walking alone doesn't mean you are alone. It just means you have to cleanse, you have to purge, you have to detach yourself from being like this world. Don't overconsume it, but of course connect with it. Enjoy the fruits of the creation that the Creator has made for us, but don't overindulge and don't get lost, because you're being pulled to something that's going to shift this collective and the consciousness of it. So just know, if the most powerful person in the world like Jesus made that much of an impact, only imagine walking in those footsteps and learning that you have such an impact as well. Not in that same definition, but in a different form and in a different way. So, you guys, I love you. I really appreciate each and every one of you watching this video, and I really hope that it shows you that you're more powerful than you think. You're much more intelligent than you think. Let people underestimate that. Let people refuse to see that. But don't let yourself underestimate that. But don't get lost in the ego of that. And let your heart be open to receive in order to accumulate more of that inner love and that inner truth to keep moving forward. So you guys, with only love and blessings, I wish you the best. And I only want healing for you. Please allow that for yourself. And in Jesus' name, amen. Allow that for yourself. But until then, beautiful beings, if you enjoyed this video and you feel like it's going to assist anyone else, please share this video. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button, hit that notification button so you won't miss out on any videos I make next. Until then, you guys, stay healthy, stay blessed, and know how lovable you are. Until then, only love.